the other side. Right. Yeah.
All right. Episode 3.
Episode 3, Modern Leverage.
What's up, everybody?
Welcome, everybody.
Well, Caleb, thanks for joining us.
Yes,
Thank you for having me.
Caleb. Nice to meet you, man.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Meeting you.
Thank you for having me on pod.
Yeah, totally. So,
Caleb's he's a entrepreneur extraordinaire, self-taught programmer. Has launched many projects. Most recently, launched an AI called Tiger, which is slowly crushing the organic traction.
so that's Flownote, right? Flownote AI.
Yeah, I would like to correct you. Many unsuccessful projects.
Okay, really? Okay.
Still working on the big one, but yes.
So, so we want to do a background.
Okay.
I kind of want to make this more technical, if that's okay with you. Like, I like to get into the weeds of like, okay, maybe not super technical, but
That's good technical.
you know, how did you learn to code? Because you're self-taught, right?
Yeah.
I think it's super important for everyone to kind of self-teach themselves and not pay $100,000 for student loans and stuff like that.
For sure, yeah.
So like, tell us about your journey.
Well, I still paid lots of money for college.
Yeah, of course.
I just didn't
thing.
study programming.
Yeah.
If you want the full story, I'll keep it relatively brief.
How'd you get into coding, right? How did you decide you
I'll
wanted to
get
make
into
apps?
it. So basically, like I've always been a creator my whole life, you know, like creating things, taking ideas, manifesting them. I still think it's like the coolest thing ever to do that. Like if you're alive in this life, you have the privilege to do that, you should do it. And so what's that? Write code. Yeah, well, create things.
Just create anything,
Art,
right?
you know,
Yeah.
music, code. I like code because you can create things really quick. It's like instant gratification. Same with music. And so yeah, I went to school for product design actually, thinking I was like, okay, I'm gonna create like physical products. Right, I'm gonna have ideas and I'm gonna be like an inventor. And then I saw somebody making a backpack who was in the product design program one day, and he's like, oh, I'm starting my own like outdoor apparel company. And he was just like carving foam out of this like foam material, right? He was just carving a backpack. It's like I'm doing like product mock-ups, shots, manufacturers. I was like, oh, like not only can you just like create products, you can like start a company, like make money, like living off. And I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And then I'm like, oh wait, like I have like friends who are like writing code, and it's like you can have a code too. And so I kind of realized that coding is a lot more fun than like physical products for me because you get to create many things faster.
Yeah.
What made you realize that to start like a physical product business? Or did you that? Yeah. I mean, if you try to start like a chair business, it's a lot harder than if you know how to code to like make an app and create it in like a month.
So do you feel like you have complete control over the code, right? Whereas if you're building a chair, you're probably sourcing it from China, or you're like going to some sort of manufacturer and like piecing it together, and it's like you're not hand chiseling it the way you sort of are with the code. I think like that ownership
you
over
can.
it.
I think it just takes a lot more to get complete control over physical products. Like it requires a lot more investment into like the infrastructure around it. If that makes sense. You just need a laptop and you can go anywhere in the world, remote, and write code and create it.
Leverage.
Yeah. Right? So it gives you, it's a lot more freedom. Like if you're creating, you know, you need to like design things, maybe like a warehouse, right? You're stuck to that spot. It's a lot harder to do that. I mean, it's probably possible to do it remote. But I also just like the idea of apps and software, and I'm not like an anti-physical product. I still think it's really cool. No more physical items.
Yeah.
But just software.
You're only metaverse now, right?
And I was like, okay, so I'm gonna like, oh, like tech is cool. I'm gonna try to start an app. No technical experience, right?
Yeah.
It was like a college app. Yeah, the concept was like Uber, but you would find other college students to like walk home with in like hacks for like group safety.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's still relevant today.
Yeah.
How long ago was it?
This was sophomore year college, so years is that 25. I don't even know what it is. So
5-ish?
Yeah, 5 years. So had you learned how to code? No, I actually found like CS students, and I was like, "You're gonna code this and like get like 30%." And they're like, "Okay." And it was just like it was cool, but like it never. And like I was designing the mockups at that point, because like I came from a design background. Right?
It's the Winkle boss.
I came from a design. Yeah, and I'm trying to find somebody, and like they have their own lives, their own schedules, right? It's like they weren't as motivated. Like it's really hard to find somebody if you're not technical who's technical. It's like, sure, I'm gonna be 100% motivated as you and your idea, and like only do your idea, right?
It doesn't matter how much you pay them.
Yeah,
you're never gonna be connected.
Yeah, well, and I couldn't like pay him at the time. Like it's just
that
like,
too.
hey, like maybe this will blow up and it'll be so cool.
It's like sure. Yeah, and it sucks because at that point you're dependent on him to even get his business line.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And so that was my first ever experience. And I'm like, yeah, I need to learn how to code. Like, you want to make a business today, you know, scale it, you have to code and stuff.
Yeah, so all that model.
I think I just started building small things. I mean, I'm still learning every day, but to the point where I'm like, okay, I can build any idea I have, maybe like 4 years, 3 years.
So when you have an idea, you said you started from design. I'm wondering, do you have the actual design of the app in your mind when it comes to you? Or do you have the idea of a product and then you sort of form the design around that?
Yeah, that's a good question. I used to, when I first was creating apps, I used to like only be in Figma for the first week, and I would go like show people the mock-ups and like get feedback. Now I have come to realize, and you know, it's just my process in my opinion. It's like I just have a general concept, and then it's like the design happens as you go.
Yeah.
It will reveal itself to you as you just chug along. Like
So
it
instead
doesn't,
of
you
using
don't have to
Figma,
have it all planned out.
you design it VS Code.
I design in code as I go. Yeah. And I think it works pretty well. Like obviously it's just my process, but I think there's something about doing things being revealed in the process of doing.
Yeah.
That's how I found out as well. Like I was doing all these mock-ups. I had like a big white sheet of paper of like drawing sketches, and then I'm trying to like convert that into some sort of like, not Figma, but like some digital art. And then I'm like, I just need to code it, and then it will come out. And then everything changed completely once you start building it. So what was the point of all the mock-ups?
So much feedback dictated by the code itself.
Yeah.
Experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the same for me as when I learned development and design. Like I didn't feel like there should be two different jobs. Like I didn't see the role of a designer.
Yeah, I kind of felt that same way too, because I'm like you, I like learned from scratch. Well, we all sort of like taught ourselves, right? And I'm like, what is a front end developer? What is a back end developer? It's all sort of the same thing. Now, when you get in the nitty gritty of design, like making it what's like super sick, I can see the value of front end, but to me, that's almost like not even coding.
We were talking about this today because this same project that we're launching, we're not going to talk about it yet.
Okay.
They're excited. Cool.
Yeah, it's the most exciting project ever. We're just not talking about it.
Episode 7.
Seriously, top of that. Yeah. But this guy about to go when we first started working on it, he DM'd me on Twitter and said, "Hey, I'm working on this project that was exactly the same concept as what we started with, but he's a designer." So he had like all these mock-ups ready. He had the perfect landing page, and I was like, "Oh man, this guy's gonna kick us! Like he's gonna launch for us. He's using Flutter to launch." And so I thought, okay, he's a designer and developer. I get a message from him today saying, "Hey, bro, it was too technical, so I decided to quit the project. But let me know if you want to collab."
Well, I was going to ask you, why would he DM you telling you, like, I'm working on the same thing? Unless he had some need from you, you know?
He was, I think, just sharing his project because he didn't know I was working on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's crazy
But
coincidence.
it's interesting because this is the same conundrum as he's designed. It's a beautiful experience, but as founder, can't launch it, value. Here's the value between product and engineering. So now he's depending on us to say like, yeah, hey man, come into the project. But we're like, no, like that's not a value. Like you can maybe increase the design by 10-20%. Yeah. But that's not enough to be a founder.
What do you think of this? I just thought of this. Designers are sort of like idea men. We're like, I've got a zillion ideas. I can't execute on them. I can't build the code. It's absolutely worthless, right? Like you can design the most beautiful chair, but until you carve it out of the wood, like it's just picture.
For sure. Definitely. I think it's interesting with like AI now because designers are like, oh, like that's what I am as a designer. It's just utilize, like I wouldn't be able to make what I'm building without, like using ChatGPT or Claude and like everything. So like,
but if you did the music, you'd also be doing yourself a disservice, right? Like why would you want to 10x your
yeah, exactly. But I think we're gonna see the return of the idea guy. The easier it is to create things, it's like technical ability is not gonna have much of a moat anymore. Like raw technical ability, right? Because that gap is slowly decreasing.
It's the one who can envision and create think of something new.
Yeah.
And then have the wherewithal to actually do it. But those tools are there for him.
Yeah.
But the motivation,
The motivation is
100%.
right? Like anyone can do it. We all are a proof of that. It's just like, do you want to spend many hours like learning how to do it, right? And people just don't want to learn, right? People are sort of lazy, and so they're gonna lay back. And the people that are going 0 to 1 like us will eventually 10x.
Yeah.
Right.
The learning curve is the hardest thing. Because you sit there and you are excited by something, but then you sit there day in, day out, you don't get positive reinforcement or positive feedback back.
Yeah.
And without that, most people just quit. And it takes so long to like get your head against the wall, like to like this morning.
Yeah. To be able to build an app in like 13 months,
Yeah.
And
now you can whip it
now it's like you can have all the ideas flowing and just start cranking them out, right? And like eventually one's gonna take off, right? It just takes. It's like the ice mounting, the ice racing.
Yeah, there's
this
super inspirational Instagram clip. Or this like story about how most people in life they're addicted to heads, and they won't continue doing a task and stuff like that. So very few people can again like that same thing, like wake up the same thing. Like if water gets to 30, like all the way down until it's freezing point, it's not going to reach, but all of a sudden it reaches, and that's so the same thing. It's this day in and day out, can you lower like the degrees one by one and know that you're in progress.
Yeah, you really have to commit to it as well. Like it's not guaranteed, right? You might go through all these steps, never become ice, but like the learning process that you went through is like, okay, I'll go transfer that somewhere else.
100%.
To the next failure.
Yeah, like the thing that I
learned
did.
from that one, like failing until
Yeah,
I feel like maybe the best like thing that ever happened to me was realizing that failure doesn't exist. Like, 'cause if you're trying something and it doesn't work out, you're succeeding because you'll learn like for next time.
Yeah.
It's like you're succeeding more than the person who never tried.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. If you get over here and failing with anything, you're basically
Yeah.
mixed out. And
But it's such a mental unlock.
but what I've been trying to do lately is train myself to get like a reward when I fail, when I'm embarrassed, when I like fall flat on my face. Because like as soon as I do that, I get a hit of like, oh, tomorrow's gonna be so much better.
Yeah.
And then like you just get addicted to almost like trying things.
Well, it's like sports psychology. I know LeBron does that. Like that's how LeBron thinks, right? Like he puts himself in situations where he's gonna fail, so he likes, right, and then you start to like the pressure.
Yeah.
And then Kobe Bryant has the record for most missed field goals of all time, right?
You don't know that.
Right.
But that's
The official snake.
example.
Yeah.
Try those.
Yeah, shots on goal. And now, like you just said, we're in a period where you're an idea guy. Now you have the tools to build things. You can have so many shots on goal.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like creating content as well, where it's like, I'm just going to post out videos. One of them will catch the algorithm in the right way.
Right.
And you're off running. And now you've done that with 20, 50, 100 apps. Almost like venture capital, like the power laws of
Yeah.
venture capital.
Yeah.
You're doing it like by yourself.
You are your own VC.
Yeah. You are your own
You're
VC.
making a bunch of investments, and one of them is going to be Uber.
Yeah.
To make you billionaire.
Yeah, totally.
So, okay, so you learned all that stuff, and then you don't have to go through like how many failures you had of like different apps, but like what's the one that is most exciting to you right now?
So I have an app called no, well, the one we're working on is
The one that you can't talk about?
yeah, the one we can't talk about. But I do have an app out, Flownote. It's pretty chill, honestly. It's not an explosive product, but it's like chill passive income. It's an evergreen product. It's slowly growing.
So what made you like choose that and then maybe subscribe? Where is that?
Yeah, what is it?
I was actually trying to do some consulting work at time, or not consulting, like contract with dev work, web dev. And we had a client talking. They were in like the freight trucking industry, and they needed a dashboard. I know nothing about freight truck, and to me, it was just like a Zoom call, and he's like ripping off all these terms, and I'm like writing down on the paper like all these things, right? And I'm like, and then I look up, and I'm like, wait, what did you just say? Like, say that again. And obviously, there are already transcription summary tools built into like Zooms and Meet, but there's so many cases where you just have your phone and it's like over a random thing. You just want to record right there,
Yeah.
and just get a meeting summary transcript. You can go back and look. And I was like, you know what? Like, this just seems like a good intro project to like building an AI app, and it's like something I found I did myself. Built it, and I really just made Reddit posts to get it going. Yeah, I made one Reddit post, got 100,000 views, and it brought in
Which
that one
subreddit?
alone brought about like 1,000 MRR. Just one Reddit post. Yeah.
Reddit. Reddit is so
I did a product hub launch. I hit number 3 for the day. I got super lucky. I didn't pay anybody. I didn't like the same product hub is rigged. Maybe it is, but I just posted. It did decently well. That brought in like 500 people. Maybe like 10 of them stayed.
Okay.
And yeah, it's like slowly.
So that's all the
Chugging.
marketing.
Pretty much, yeah. I made more Reddit posts. I probably made about like 50 Reddit posts in total. Some of them did okay, but one of them just took off, and they were all basically like
What was the post
different
about?
subreddits.
Like, this is an app I built, or
Yes, it was literally just like, hey, it was in overemployed, r/overemployed, which is people who work multiple remote jobs. And I'm like, okay, like these guys are going to be grateful for something like this, right? They don't care. Like, sure, they'll pay the subscription, right? They're making enough money to.
Yeah, they have 2 jobs.
Yeah, how they keep track of all their beats. And I posted it, and I had like a pretty positive reception. It's interesting because other subreddits, like people would be like, I hate this idea. Then you go to other ones, and be like, oh, I never knew I need this. And you just have to be willing. Yeah, don't listen to haters basically, because for every hater, just need that much.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I haven't marketed it in probably a month, and it gets maybe like 4 to 5 new trials a day, and of those, like 30% are.
Wow. So you're not doing any marketing. This is all search.
It's so now Apple is pushing it out for me. I think like I don't know how their algorithm works, but I'm not doing any marketing, and I'm getting signups.
Is it iPhone only or Android too?
Just iPhone.
Okay.
Yeah, just iPhone.
Wow, so you're probably ranking for AI content.
Yeah.
As that topic becomes more popular, more
Yeah, and it's like once a week I'll answer like a random customer support email of like, opening that I was out 5 minutes, so you happen to be transcribing something, and it's like, sorry, like I'll try to go and recover it for them or whatever, but like give it that, like maybe I work 10 minutes a week on it for like the money it makes, like the hourly rate is like, if you like to think about it, like
Yeah,
it's all dude. So
it's leverage
yeah.
right there.
Yeah, and
That's all, dude.
it's cool to have that. It's like a little win. It's like a mini success, right? It's not like huge life changing.
I think that's a huge success though, because you've created something nothing, and people are paying for it, and you're now spending 0 minutes on it, essentially. Right?
Yeah, better that.
Yeah.
Cross the chasm.
Yeah.
Build something that people want.
Yeah, and I feel like that like unlocked, like, oh, it's possible to like do it again, but like 10 times bigger now.
Yeah. Now you're going for like
like 100 100 at times bigger than base.
Do you think that the total addressable market for your product is tapped out, or like do you want to? Are you not so focused in that like you could spend more money marketing it, try to 10x that product, or you just want to move on to something else? Just curious. Or you just have so many ideas that you got to like move on.
I do suffer a bit from shiny object syndrome where I'm like, oh, I have a better idea, and I'm like, you know what, like my
Feel that?
opportunity cost is
Yes.
better spent like building a more exciting, explosive idea than like trying to grow Flownote. That might not be true. Like I do think my competitor actually for Flownote launched maybe like 5 months before me, same product, basically same app. They're now doing like 2 million ARR, and like I'm nowhere near that, folks. And it's the same product. You just like dedicated his time to it, kept marketing it, and I didn't. And so I'm like, maybe I should, but at the same time, I don't know. I have other ideas. You just first talk about it.
Yeah, it's interesting because how do you know if you can put 10% more time in it? Maybe that has 100x return because you already built the foundation.
Well, this is actually a good segue into like what I want to do with Content Square, which is like if you could fire off 100 apps, you need distribution, right? You need someone on the other side pushing it for you. And like we kind of talked about like working for equity sucks, right? Because you don't have, or you don't have upside. You're trying to hire a developer, right? And it's like, okay, I don't have any money to pay you, but like I'll give you 30% of this, which could be zero. Could spend 6 months on it, it'd be zero, but you have MRR, right?
Yeah.
You have product market fit, and so you can go to a bunch of people who have distribution with social media and say like, hey, I don't want to do anything with this. Like take 20 or 30%. It's and like they're essentially like a salesperson working on commission.
That's honestly what I'm looking for
10x
right now. Is
this
just
for me.
somebody like I'm like, sure, take 30% and just market this for me, and then we both win, right? Like,
Yeah, like you take 70% of the upside or something like that.
yeah,
Something crazy to motivate them.
yeah.
Right.
Wait, so what is Content Square?
So
I don't have like a background.
no, it's okay. It's like
Sorry.
What's like the overall vision?
so yeah, let me start at the top, which is like basically I want to create a marketplace for brands and creators.
Okay.
And I want to be able to crowdsource attention on sort of both sides of the marketplace. So if you're a creator, you get together with 10 creators to form a brand. Or if you're a small brand, you get together with other brands to like work with a creator. Or you can be a small brand and work with 1,000 nano influencers.
Okay.
Right.
Interesting. So you like select like what strategy, what you wanted to like, oh, okay, I want like a group of like 5 creators, right? Or like I want to like mass just like spray and pray, give you like 1,000 creator files.
Yes, exactly.
As
an app developer or a brand. But the biggest thing is I want to incentivize creators to start brands themselves. And so the way that I was incentivizing them to do that is by creating an automated email platform. So if you're an influencer on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram, you don't own your audience, right? You're just sort of renting them, get canceled or deplatformed or deboosted at any time. And then you're left with nothing if that happens, right? And so email is the only place where you actually own your audience. And you take them off platform or take them to a different platform. Also, email has the highest CPM for advertising, right? Pays higher than so email pays like $30 CPM for advertising, whereas TikTok can pay like 5 cents, and YouTube pays 15 cents, something like that. And then email also has the highest conversion rate when you're doing digital marketing, targeting. So email will convert at like 5%, and ads on Instagram will convert at 1%, something like that. So email is the best way to go direct to consumer to sell your product, right? Capture the audience. People know who the audience are, so they're more willing to pay for the advertising dollars. And so creators are not capturing emails right now. Right? There's no incentive for them to do so because they don't have a brand or a product that they're really trying to sell. They're just trying to get views and subscribers. They're just trying to get views, and followers, and get paid off of views, or maybe do brand deals themselves, right? But these brands, there's such a shortage of supply for the creators. The brands need the creators' distribution, right? Because brands are so boring. Like if you just look at any brand, it's like a logo and it's just a blue logo with whatever, right? And you're like, this is a nameless, faceless organization. I don't care about you. There's no emotional attachment to you. That's why they're all going to creators to be the face, right? And so why would I, as a creator, do like a $40,000-$50,000 brand deal and then constantly be chasing after these brand deals when I can just put in a little bit of effort and start my own brand? It takes market share out of you, and then I have equity in that. It's not like this, constant search for more money. You're now generating it yourself, right? You have cash flow. So the way to incentivize those people who are just creating videos, and that's sort of like their core competency, right?
Yeah.
Is to automate the email. And so I've built a thing that basically takes their YouTube videos and it turns it into an email newsletter. And I have a little like email subscription capture deal. So you tell your YouTube subscribers to sign up, and then with like a few clicks of a button,
Wait,
they
so
have
it
an
takes
email
the
newsletter.
videos and it turns it into like emails.
It turns it into an email newsletter. Yeah.
Email newsletter.
Yeah.
Like they just link it on their bio or something. Like
So
sign up here.
They link it in the bio and then they go to a landing page, they enter email, and then the creator can schedule the emails so whoever often has makes their latest videos, same as like okay, 5 videos about just slices.
Wait, what does it say?
So the same way you would sign up for a Substack,
Yeah.
right, or Beehive,
Right.
or any
Yeah.
email newsletter,
Yeah.
right? they're putting that link in the bio to subscribe, right? You're
Yes.
signing up for my content square.
Right.
And then the actual physical newsletter that comes out is the last 8 videos that you posted on YouTube, right? With an AI generated description.
It's a way for creators to engage with their subscribers outside of too.
Oh,
They get more attention.
I like that. I
So
like
they
that.
capture the email, and then they re-engage with content.
And you see it as like an additional marketing channel.
The way that I envisioned it was like, I want to get a bunch of creators on my user table, right?
Yeah.
And I want them to get a bunch of their subscribers as emails on their user table, right?
Right.
And then I would have a bunch of emails in my database in which I could go to an advertiser and say, hey, I have 10 creators and they each have 10,000 emails.
Oh,
And we want to layer advertising
just
on
click
top
for
of
me.
all of it.
Just click. Yeah.
Right? Or there's any number of things that you can do when you have all of them. You have access to creators and you have direct access to their subscribers, right?
Right.
So that's kind of vision,
Cool.
like it's sort of nebulous in a way, like the big picture thing.
That's like a cool hack to like get that data, right? You're like building a tool and that's collecting data for you, and then you take that and like build marketing space.
How you should test analytics. Make it make sense. So give away the we design like a high quality landing page. You get that on your domain. That's free. But as soon as you want to test your audience, that's when they pay you. So as soon as they want to introduce even AI, that's when that's where you pay all that. As soon as you want to choose brand goods, that's when you monetize it. And then your content is just convincing creators of the idea that they should build their audience, and you'll get tens of thousands of creators creating landing pages.
Build their audience via email, like build their email subscriber list.
Yeah, and I think you should do phone numbers.
I agree. That's honestly, I got a lot of feedback that I should do phone numbers. So the problem, to catch you up, like as to like where I'm at, like I have 18 users and most of them I forced them to sign up. No paying customers yet. I put a paywall up if no one is flipping the switch because the product itself isn't great. The AI generated newsletter isn't great. Because I'm not like downloading the video and like running it through a server. Like I'm not downloading the transcripts. Most of the transcripts are not there or private. And so it's not like analyzing the actual video and building a newsletter off that. It's taking the channel description of YouTube and it's taking the video description of YouTube and it's like running it through the OpenAI API and then sort of like spitting out something that's like
you're not using.
palatable.
Are you using TikTok? Is it for TikTok or Instagram or anything?
So it's only for YouTube right now. I just got access to the TikTok API, so like that'll be the next channel.
Okay. Yeah.
Instagram's a little bit harder because I can actually take the photos and run it through GPT-4 Vision API to like analyze what is this image and then integrate that into the newsletter somehow.
I think you can do videos if the person logs in with Instagram with their API. If they don't log in, you cannot get other people not like get API access to other videos.
Yes.
You have to do something like scraping or like you have to like use a headless browser scrape, which is like it's like on any script.
That's why YouTube is so easy because it's public API.
Yeah.
You get everything.
Yeah, YouTube's probably easier.
And I think TikTok is similar to that of YouTube where I can publicly get all the information. But Instagram, they would have to log in with Instagram through the app.
Yeah, they like to make people's lives tough.
Yeah.
Just the platform as a how.
Yeah.
Just the whole thing of shooting the power factors.
Yeah.
How are you thinking about wellness?
That's a good question. So I've just gone through I launched like a month ago and I've gone through a month of creating content. And so basically learned how to do that. And in the meantime, I did pay someone to do the paywall for me, which is the first outsourcing I've done. I went to Replit.
Yeah. So what was the process of post job and then connects to your code base?
Yeah. So basically you go on Replit, it connects to your GitHub. So your code base turns into your repo turns into a repo. And then, just post a bounty for it. And I got like 10 people within like 20 minutes.
How much did you get?
$90.
$90.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It actually took like a few days of like iteration going back and forth. You didn't
The whole thing was still $90.
Yeah.
For the whole Stripe integration.
Yeah.
So to monetize the
That's
product,
actually
that's
insane.
pretty much, yeah.
That's insane. Wow, maybe that's like I didn't know you could do that, Reddit.
Yeah, the bounty thing is pretty cool.
You just have to give like a public code base, or how does that work?
No, it's still private. You just give access to whoever you allow in.
And then you gave them a very specific task, essentially.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like you use ChatGPT all the time, right? It's like telling an AI how to do the product or the whatever code you need. And I think honestly, like that's something that's not well understood by people, and I think that's one of the biggest hurdles for like going 0 to 1 coding is you have to be really articulate in what you want with the AI, right? And I know a lot of leaders out there who are like, do this, do that, and they sort of like hand wavy and like vaguely give instructions, like do an analysis of this, and like you know what they mean, right? It's like I get the vibe, but you're not exactly explicitly saying what you want. You have to be good at explicitly telling the AI what you want, right?
You could tell ChatGPT you want a website, it's you can HTML website.
Yeah.
But what you want is probably a Vercel Next.js website with tailored CSS.
Yeah. And you also need to go like step by step down to every day, right? It's not like, okay, build me a newsletter platform app that like scrapes TikTok and like gives like no, you have to be like, okay, step one, create like a sign up screen, just create the UI, right? Yeah. It's like, okay, now how do I like what should I use for my like database. Just go slowly step by step.
Yeah. And there's so many steps. There's like 10 things that
Yeah.
to integrate together to get there. And then each one you have to like remind it, hey, I'm on Next.js 14 that has like app router and it's not whatever, file structure you think I am on.
That's why I use Pages Router for like web projects now because of ChatGPT.
Really?
Yeah, because like the workflow is way faster because you don't have to tell it it's app router.
They should definitely add like a knowledge base add-on where yourself to update docs ChatGPT.
Yeah,
And maybe,
I don't know
like,
why OpenAI doesn't have that yet. Honestly.
Wait, update what docs?
like when new docs come out,
Oh,
yeah. Automatically integrate.
Well, I told you this actually when we first met, because I thought it was like some conspiracy where ChatGPT is always 6 months behind Next.js or something. Is everyone just working so fast that like OpenAI can't implement that into their model, right? So like ChatGPT updates every 6 months with their model, give or take. And Next.js is also like updating every 6 months, right?
Yeah.
But they're 6 months apart,
Right.
So like this launches, ChatGPT 4 came out in January and Next.js was like April, right? And so like are the developers trying to like launch new things ahead or like right after the large language model release so that people can, people like us,
Like they're dependent still on the others.
Yeah.
No knowledge of the docs.
Yeah. I think it's sort of a big first thing because like I just copy paste all the docs and plug it into ChatGPT. Yeah. Like here's all the documentation like fix
Yeah.
Here's this information. Like, I'll get an answer.
So true.
But it's super cool because now that you split the type learn all these terms, you can build it yourself. Now you can essentially break down what you want the product to be in smaller tasks.
Yes.
Hand that off.
Yeah. So I can articulate it to an actual human
Right.
who knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
No, so to answer your question, how am I like thinking about building products? Like I kind of like you, like I like the craft of it. And I don't know quite what it's gonna look like, so it's hard for me to articulate it when you don't have a vision in your mind. So that's where like you're like coding it and like the design comes out of the code as you're going through it. I think I just have to be really clear on what feature I want next and bang that out. That honestly, I already know what it is. It's TikTok integration. But my problem was, do I even want to continue on this email app?
It sounds like you don't know what you want by tool, right? You said, and it feels like the best thing to do that scenario is just make a shot every from me. Like let the bucket stuff.
Yeah.
Because then let's be honest. Like give this ugly little baby to the world and I let them learn something.
Yeah.
Like, exactly. Like,
That's a good
I should
idea.
access this feature because no one cares about it.
Definitely. Well, also, so you have 18 users.
Yeah.
You need like 500 and then maybe you'll get a couple subscribers that are like, hey, you should do this. And then you'd go there.
Like you need to get roasted.
Yeah, you need to get like at least like 100 people to try it. Like complete strangers, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, like 200 people. You make it. How are you finding customers?
So I've just been. So here's another issue, which is that it's a YouTube platform, and I've just been blasting it on Instagram, TikTok, trying to like learn how to create myself, right? Because I have this other vision of, hey, I want to like launch a bunch of that stuff, right? So I'm sort of creating a personal brand, and I'm not directly marketing my app.
Yeah.
So anyone that I've gotten has really just like stumbled across the link in my bio, basically.
Right.
So I really haven't given it a full marketing. But like marketing on TikTok is not going to get people on YouTube who need an email list.
Yeah, I bet there are like I'm biased with Reddit. I think Reddit is like a great place to find groups of people and like individuals who are like really niche just for like initial users,
That's
right?
really
Getting your
good,
first 100, 200 people. You should like look in Reddit groups and subreddits and like YouTube creators or like monetization or like sure you can find something. I actually have a tool you can use probably free. I'm actually shutting it down. So normally it's $30 a month, but I can just like go in the back end and like use pro access.
Yeah.
And it will find people on Reddit who are like, oh, how do I monetize things?
Oh,
Or
really?
like it'll find subreddits of like your people relevant to your product. You can check it out. Maybe I'll plug it in for you.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, that'd be
It's a
sick.
good way to find users.
So another point of leverage, like the compounding effects of knowing other founders in the space.
Yeah, you
Like,
built a tool. Yeah.
that no one else has access to. That could unlock.
I
give you
built
so many
I built the
customers.
tool. I did monetize it and got maybe like 250 people to sign up. Got like $90 MRR, and then I just wasn't excited about it anymore.
I really think we should outsource the development into that, like what they were scrapes all your customers like sense analysis. You're like basically so they stop make it.
For your secret app? Is that what you're talking about?
Maybe internally. No, for Oasis.
Oh.
This is the problem I was telling you about how
I'm gonna launch that.
Yeah, let's talk about Oasis. So we're
Focus. Yeah. Launch the drop name.
yeah, that's why you outsource that. But yeah, so basically you get hundreds of comments through our videos every day. Another like 10 to 50 DMs kind of videos too.
for waters that they want reviewed or what?
Hey bro, it'd be awesome. Can I tell somebody about Oasis? Hey, you should name this water. Hey, you should name this feature. Hey, this isn't working this day. And I don't reply reply to any of them. Like I just don't have time anymore. But
Terrible freaking
Ter-
building community.
terrible founder and terrible customer support. I want to, but
Yeah.
I don't have the like space to do
Yeah, only there was like a text-based learning model that I did also summarize all the insights it gave that you learned everything about customers.
That's the
That'd be crazy.
That's actually super easy too.
Yeah.
And I was going to build a tool for YouTube to help me target which YouTube creators I want to target that would basically sort through the comments of the users or like the channel descriptions to try to figure out what niche they're in and how many followers or subscribers they had.
Yeah.
And you could do the same thing with like comments, right? So like just analyze what just send them.
100%. And this isn't like I really want to just engage with the community and the users, but sitting there it would take more than all day to actually do. Yeah. But it'd be so easy just to pull in all your messages to one place where you or someone on your team could like DM them back and reply.
Right.
Have you played with the TikTok API at all?
No, but I'm about to very soon.
The Instagram API?
No.
Okay. Because you can get comment information and you can, with all the API, post to your account. And so I don't see any reason why you couldn't download the comment information, have an API, AI do comments
Oh yeah,
for
it's fully technically possible.
That's super valuable. Then the next unlock is scrape all information about what people are mentioning and talk about your brands online.
On other accounts.
Yeah, other accounts in your DMs and your comments and app reviews, emails even.
Yeah.
Bring all this analysis in one place, have an AI like break down what's the top most searchers, what should be the next suggested 3-month roadmap based on your feedback. What are the common bugs that like, 10 people DM'd you in the last hour about this bug, like check on it, right? Like that in one place is super valuable because they essentially tell you to get to it instead of trying to fix those.
No, that's login sick.
Yeah.
I just want one person to tell me which way to go. You're like, I
Different
need
scales.
like 100,000 users. To, like,
Yeah, he's
the
on a different
information.
level, man. It's on a different level. But like,
Similar problems.
that is
too much feedback. Too much people. Too much product feedback.
it's a good problem to have.
Trust me, once this tool is built, you're going to be left with it because you're going to have the same problem.
Yeah.
I'm just looking out for you.
Okay, so you have to figure out which way to go. You have to figure out the product direction, or you just what do you want to do with product?
I essentially want to get Oasis 2.0 now, where there's a foundation of automation that it's like a self-sustaining business without setting up fires like that. So that took a while to find like what is the next roadmap for the product. And I think I've defined that, like how to scale. The plan is to scale into different categories outside of water. Right now, I've launched energy drinks this week. We're getting into European waters. We're going to get to other supplements eventually, right? Another element is we're going to start crowdfunding to testing. So really need into the perspective of we could go the VC route and raise $10 million to product test, lab test all the products, or we could lean into the community and be like, hey guys, donate to get Celsius energy drink tested. It's $250. If we all chip in, we can just send it to the lab and then we can see the results. And
I think that's a great idea because
Right.
it's pretty cheap, you know,
Yeah.
$250. Sure.
yeah, like I'd pay for a couple just myself.
Yeah,
the product
honestly,
side.
I think the real value is not even like $250. It's like you don't.
100%. And then if you pay for it, you feel like you're part of this global movement to bring it home to products and transparency. And like products like Ryan and AG1 kind of one of those options.
Yeah.
But essentially, we're the people around that. How to incentivize it. Right now, I hired a team of 3 VAs that are doing all the product entry and search and then all the content, right? Like science does.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I'm having them, they like every day I wake up, they send me a report of what they did. And then I quality assurance kind of what they do.
Where'd you get them from? Oh, really?
Yeah, they range from like $5 to $10. But it's hard to train my brain to start thinking in terms of systems.
Delegation.
Yeah.
Like instead of spending my time running code to launch a feature or add a water filter to Oasis, I now need to build the Notion doc and the Loom video in the process of it. And it feels weird.
You're
It feels
putting your brain on a Notion doc. It's like all the things that I do.
yeah, it feels like I'm taking a step backwards, but at the same time, it should leverage this forward. And I wasn't doing that. Like I was just every day trying to take the next step and start up to the step and trying to see it.
So tell me again, what are the VAs doing?
They researched, like, for example, when they added Celsius, they researched what are the ingredients of Celsius, who owns Celsius, what is the scientific information you're telling behind each ingredient in it, and they add that all to Oasis, and then they press submit and it works for them. So basically just works for them.
Okay. But they're not actually adding it into the app. Then you have to like code it.
No, they're adding it to a dashboard, which reflects it.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh,
basically
sick.
building like a research machine.
Yeah.
Like our own lab in a sense.
So they just upload it to the dashboard and it automatically populates with like a new product on Oasis.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And we have different like rules and automations around is this tested, what is the penalty, and it's not tested, like what are the sources, how to attach that in, so it's all stuff. And then looking into like now how to automate the bodies and build these like systems.
That's the harder part because you're the face.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
which brings benefits because like I get a lot of connections that way that help, but it's also like at some point for two things. Yeah.
Aren't there tools you can like clone your face now?
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, you can totally clone your face. I'm sure clone your face, put a green screen on.
Yeah,
No, no,
clone
no.
your face, clone
No.
your voice.
No one would see it coming.
But you can also get any AI face, right? You can have 1,000 different people.
You could have a billion voice.
Perfect.
Like, what makes your face so special? You know, people just know that it's not special. Well, it is beautiful. It is beautiful.
But because you can test multiple different things, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe
A/B
there's
test
some
the faces.
it's like, but it's like having different creators like advertise for you. It's like maybe there's some other ethnicity besides like white man in LA that would like really go off in other markets, you know?
This is interesting. Like you could even create different accounts for each one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bots kind of test
This
that.
is something I've been thinking about a lot lately. Is just like just hacking TikTok, like creating like 1,000 different accounts and like posting video each one a day.
Yeah.
A/B testing it all. It's like a data play.
Yeah, exactly. I think TikTok is so like I feel like it's so manipulable.
Yeah.
Manipulatable.
It's like a game.
But like everyone has code, right? It's like, okay, you need like a solid code, you need to provide some value, get their attention for 2 seconds, and then like back up a decent amount of content, right? And anyone can like get views relatively quick. And so if you can leverage that up, right? Like how can we get you to like start 10 accounts with the amount of time that you put one account? To me, like maybe like we were talking earlier, like this is another tool that perhaps needs to get built. Like I don't have the time. I have a full-time job. I have a full-time job. I'm trying to build a new feature on my app, and I'm trying to like make content as well for a personal brand, and then also for an app that's specifically for an app, right? It's a lot of stuff you done. Just the content itself is a full-time job for most people. So how can I bang out a video a day by putting in an hour a week or a couple hours a week? I can write all the scripts, but someone's got to like put a face to a screen, source the images.
Yeah. Is there a tool out there where you can just create like one video and then it like shows almost like a hierarchy chart of like, okay, here are like all your 10 different accounts, and it like changes it up just a little bit for each one, and then it measures performance and it shows you like it like A/B tests all of it. Is anyone doing that?
This is like a tool we have to build internally that not because
Yeah.
get banned.
Yeah, I was gonna say like TikTok doesn't like it when you post the same video multiple times. I found that out.
Well, it would change the video.
But I mean, if it's like
You're intentionally gaming the algorithm.
Well, yeah, I mean, how would they know?
well, if it's just like
Just get different SIM cards, right? You have like a phone farm, like a phone wall farm. It's like scraping the. I had this browsers have like devices like Android and balls.
Yeah.
And then outsource that.
I mean, tons of people are doing it.
Doesn't sound very scalable.
Yeah.
Like I want that, but I only want it for us.
But if you're scaling it up with, your code infrastructure instead of your, Androids jacked together, that's fine. Because like 50% of them are going to get shut down immediately, right? Or just like shadow ban off the red, right? It's like then, but it's like whatever, just make 100 more.
Yeah.
They could wrap like what our next goals are. So.
Yeah, I need to build this TikTok integration, and I think I need to do it myself because I need to explore the TikTok API, and I think I need to do that before I dive into more direct marketing, trying to get customers. So you choose the other feature for you. Yeah, I think it's more valuable to TikTokers. I think I can more easily reach TikTokers than like reach YouTube subscribers. And then I can more easily iterate the content on TikTok, see what's working, and then try to use that on YouTube.
Yeah, okay, yeah, shorts.
Yeah.
So that's your.
I'm gonna try to do that for next week.
Easy.
Easy. Bar high.
Wait, I just realized this is genius for making creator tools and starting the podcast. Like if the podcast grows, you're like marketing.
It's like
it's part of the business. Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, this isn't just some random podcast. It's like a distribution engine.
It's all
Respect.
Just for fun.
Yeah.
What are your focuses next steps?
I mean, right now I am locked in trying to finish the current app.
Secret app.
Building secret app. Yes, the secret app. That's literally it. I think for Flownote, I actually want to explore just outsourcing marketing because I don't want to do it at this point. But it could be marketed. Like it has a lot of room to grow. And the product is monetized. It's built, set up. Nothing has to change. Somebody just has to like start making videos, make posts, email marketing. I don't know what you have to do, but I need to find some people.
It takes time to figure out what the algorithm is. Yeah, I don't know. That's just how people have
Are you versed in like short form video?
No, really bad at it.
So maybe it's worth like even just saying, hey, pick someone who you trust or like someone who is good at it, right?
Yeah, like this guy,
right? And be like, what would you do, right? Go market it however you see fit.
Yeah,
and like giving that piece like
yeah.
we talked about.
Yeah, I actually haven't ever asked you to be interested. I just assumed you'd be like, I have any time. Basically,
I was gonna say would not be.
Should never put my face on it.
Probably doesn't like associate shit.
I just can't have my face on every product. At some point, you lose credibility.
Yeah.
If I'm telling you what water to drink and to summarize your notes with AI,
yeah.
that's cool. And then if you fly out to actually see.
Yep.
So the goal is to get that launched in about 3 on my end set up for that.
Yeah, like submit to App Store, like
Nice.
Well, so hopefully you can record that.
yeah,
I can see what it is.
that makes sense. But yeah, I'm very excited about it. It's called Glow.
Have you ever
Yeah, I really want to talk about it, but we're gonna keep it under wraps until it's like we already have we can hit the tipping point of the product.
Oh yeah.
Sure, we already have market share just because we get like.
smart? Yeah.
I know it sounds like a rip founder thing, or like, oh, I don't want to share my idea and get a copy, but we're like pretty like certain it's like a great idea. And it's like
But you know what? Also, like because you can whip stuff up so quickly now, I feel like what you're saying, like a rookie founder maybe 5 years ago would want to put it out to market because the product is that great, right? And someone can just come build a better product.
yeah,
Now, I think it's like first to market is more important than actual product, right?
yeah,
It's first to market is the first to look at like low stuff market.
first to like
And I think
First to
take
distribution.
mind share.
Yeah.
people are figuring out how to load their stuff up.
Yeah,
on
so
TikTok.
So if you can whip it up and blow it up,
Yeah.
in a week,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, these people have figured it out, done it once or twice. Like they could probably build that app and be a bunch of space.
Yeah.
They're just waiting.
Honestly, that's a great point. It's like 2 weeks. If you give someone 2 weeks, they catch up in
Yeah.
product and distribution.
Yeah.
Once you at
It's kind of
once.
scary, actually.
Yeah, so that's what we're afraid of. We basically we want to be those people.
Yeah.
we don't
We
want to
will
be
take all the
sharked by
ideas and
those
run it.
people. We want to be the sharks.
So no, it's smart to not
Yeah.
announce it. So wait, so what are you doing next week?
I want to finalize figuring out all the pieces of what needs to be automated in Oasis and essentially have those pieces in place that next week I can wake up and I can go a day when not focused on the tools, but wake up, see the bottom line, and like the metrics go up.
CEO shit.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
All right, dude.
Happens.
Great episode.
Right
Great
as the
conversation.
sunset goes.
Yeah.
It's time to do something.
I think that happened last time too.
Sweet.
It was awesome.
When did you guys start this?
This is the third one, so it was like 2 weeks ago.
Okay. How did